Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. As you can see, all the yesterday I spent 2 hours to fill up all the trench, and my good neighbor just passed the grade. He's gonna remove the little rocks there and there, and also this is a very steep angle going up, and that I was very happy that I put my when I was digging on that side, so it was easier to pile up. And like my good friend Ben from HK Tractor, I think, it was a wise idea to put it on that way, so it was easier to push. All right, so let's go to show you my weekend chores. All right, cheers. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Uh, I should call it my I'm thinking about it really hard. My weekend wheel bearing greasing, trailer and RV. So yesterday on Saturday, I cleaned the bearings and also repacked the bearing, and then I check everything torque on the trailer itself. There's a lot of video on how to clean. There's no brakes on that trailer. It's just the bearing. So I clean everything, flush the whole grease out, and these bearings have 1 point grease point right in the middle. There's a little zerk. You just grease, and that will it start from the back, and it's pushing the grease forward. It's a good thing for one, maybe if you don't use it too much, once a year you grease it like that. But I have that trailer since 4 years now, and I was doing that, just greasing manually. I never used that little thing. I always grease my bearings like the old-fashioned way. But I did that again, and then at the end I just refill it like this. So but I rather it's a good time. My point is basically is do inspect your bearing visually, remove everything. Doesn't take that much time to remove the wheel, and then jack the trailer, remove the wheel, and then remove the little nut. And yeah, that's what I recommend. Do not only grease them, inspect them also. All right, now for my RV. All right, gentlemen and ladies, so this year, since I'm transferred to the Saguenay region, I've got to reactivate my RV. About 2 years ago or so, I removed the wheels off of my RV and I put it on concrete block. And the main reason why is, first of all, the wheels were, I had one wheel, it was so badly cracked, and the valve was gone. So I put the RV on concrete block, and it was basically stationed there for that period of time. And that gave me time to inspect the leaf springs and also all the electrical system on it, since it was I have access. Now, since I'm posted, I have to reactivate my RV, so I'm gonna bring it first of all to Joe's place for a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna bring it back to Saguenay. So what I've done to reactivate it is first of all, I bought new tires. Now those tires, I went to a RV center here in nearby town in Grand Bay, and they had various selection of tires. So I pick up the high grade. It's 8-ply tires, and it's meant for that type of axle and the weight. I'm not going too much in detail with that because there's a lot of spec, but they all have their charts, and it's also rated in the tire what type of tire you need to put on that, depending on the weight and everything. All right. However, that's been said, so they install the tire, they put a new valve kit, and also I bring my drums. Why did I bring my drum? Well, I asked them to change my bearings. I could have changed the bearing myself. However, that seal in the back, it was so well. That RV is a 2006. It was so much rusted. Yes, I couldn't remove it, but probably damage the seal, damage all around here. So I just, for they charged me $30 for the seals, replacement of the seals, not including, just $30. You know what? I paid $30. It's done deal. So I put they put new bearings in the back. They put a new seal. They also put a new cap on it. I'm gonna remove the cap and to install it. When I had the tower, and when I picked up the tower, I asked them. I said if they had the product, the roof. It's made of rubberized, and it's called rubber roof treatment with UV protection. So every year you need to sweep your roof, clean it, and then you need to add preservative, which is basically maybe not that company, but it's that one is the top of the line. I don't know if you're able to focus it and maybe see it, but anyway, anyhow. So what I've done is I bought that. That's only it's worth $35 Canadian. So I almost emptied the bottle and I sprayed that on my tires because it's get that rubberized protection. It's get also the UV protection. And I asked the guy at the RV and all the technician. He said, "You know what? It's a great idea." They said nobody thought about that. 1 second, they're gonna put like armor walls. They're gonna put all those things, but there's no protection unless you buy something with UV protection. But this one is made for rubber roof. I mean, those rubber roof, they're exposed to the sun directly. So you know what? That's why and it's the first time they heard about that. So I sprayed the tower. It looks like aircraft tower now. It's all shiny, and I also put it a lot in the cracks, and I put 3 coat of them, even the spare tower in the back. The spare tire in the back, it was still protected with the cover and everything, and I sprayed that. It's no problem, no cracks at all. So yes, the sun does damage the tire, but also running on the asphalt does too, because of various threat the road have. So yes, I recommend that. Then I will let you know when I go. It's 400 kilometers, so 444, something like that. So I'll let you know how it went on the road. And for the bearing itself, how I install it, there's a lot of video about it. So basically, I'm just gonna give you I use a brake cleaner, spray everything to clean it because there's spiders in there and everything. And then clean, remove all the old grease, put a little bit grease, brake grease at various where friction point. One thing that I forgot to mention, when you clean your brake, you need to re-grease it with the proper brake grease where the friction point are. And also the magnet here, you need to make sure it's very clean. And also here, the surface of the drum there, because that's where the magnet is gonna kind of stick to. So the magnet will stick on on this portion here, and that will make, if the wheel is turning like that, so that will go push that brake, and it will bring the other one. And if the wheel is turning the other way, it will put the rear one, it will apply the pressure on. So here it's touching that portion, so you have to make sure that here it's clean, and also all around here. So this is my little advice. So when you do clean it, then you re-grease it where you need to be re-greased according to the specs, and also make sure that the surface here is clean. How do I torque my wheels? The nut here for the brakes is I do exactly like I used to do on aircraft. Basically, there's a torque sequence. There's a torque to be required, but what I do is I install the drum, then I'm just gonna show you like so. I just hand tied it, then I turn it for a good 30 seconds like this. Then I turn another 30 seconds on the other way like this. I loose it completely, turn it again on both sides, then I do a hand tight, then I'm gonna put a light pressure, and when I mean by light pressure, not too much, just light. I turn it again like this, 30 seconds. I loose it, turn it on both ways for 30 seconds. Then I do the final torque, and always torque as your manual or requirement for the bearing or the RV. On mine they said to torque it at 20, 25 and 50 miles. So that's what they require for me. Now the reason why I'm doing that is, first of all, the first hand tight is to basically put the grease on the bearing a little bit on the side. Then you spin it, then you loose it. Then the other one is to put a type of pressure on the bearing itself to push the grease away and to settle the bearings. Then you loose it again. Then you do your final torque. And this one is to make sure that the grease is away, not the grease away, but well placed. Also the bearing is well seated. And then I'm gonna do a final check when I'm gonna bring the RV to Joe's home. That's about 25 miles from here. No, not 25 miles. That will be 10 miles roughly. Close. So that's how I do it. I often see people over torquing the bearing, so be like respect what the requirement, but that's how I do it. Basically is a hand tight, then a slide, and then a third final one, not a final one, but like a good one, not too heavy, and then I put the quarter pin also at the end. So that is for making sure that the grease is well placed and also the bearing is well seated. All right, that's just my little word of advice. Cheers, gentlemen and ladies. So when the tower installed and not in use, like I mean you just park your RV, do put wheel cover on it. There's a lot of person who don't, and I always put cover even on various type of towers like my trailer and stuff like that. So despite of that protection I put wheel cover. Now these one were made from the stepfather of Joe, so thank you very much, Joe, for them. So as you see, this one is facing south. South is like that on the side, but on the other side is facing north, so there's no sun. And a cheap one that I made once on the camping, I just take a bed white sheet, I just cover it like this. It's nice. It's just cutting off the bad UVs, you know. So that's it. All right, cheers. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. As you can see, as I move my 30-foot RV, but this time I have my new tires on, new bearings, grease, and everything is done. Sorry about I shouldn't make the video when I moved it. I just thought about that to adding at the video about the bearings and everything. Like you can see, the RV is at the lowest point. I can drop it about 2 inches more, and I did. Just hold down. So I've got a full bucket of dirt. There's a lot of rocks in there, by the way. Like in Shefford, it's not a garden dirt. So the bars are low, so they ain't gonna kick up. All right, the reason why that I moved the RV is I have a lot of tarps under it. It was for keep it dry, And so I'm gonna put the camera somewhere where you can see me moving back and forth. I'm gonna put basically the RV right there. So when Joe's truck is gonna came in, his Dodge, the same truck that he moved his tractor, case tractor. So it's easier because with a truck here in this spot, when I used to have a truck, it was you need to be very pretty good. You had to back and forth a couple of times, but with the short radius turn of that my little red horse, it's so much easier and really need to move. So I'm gonna move that, see, and show you that. All right, cheers. So as you can see, it's gonna be much easier when I arrive with the truck and put it out. I put the red carpet under the red rubber carpet under the wheels, so it's better for the wheels like that. And oh, just let me show you the capacity of the lift. So that little tractor is quite something. I know there's a gentleman who bought a tractor like this. He had a Harvey. I don't remember the weight, but he was asking me if he was able to lift it. So there you go. And mine, by the way, it's extra extended in the back. So and thank you very much for all the nice comment on my previous video. No, there's another when I came back for the big announcement. Thank you very much. You really touched my heart. So take care of yourself. Cheers.